Hello my friends, this is Marta and welcome back at my YouTube channel. Today I've already released one video tutorial which was initially recorded in Polish language for a change, because normally I record all my videos are recorded in English. However, this video I was preparing, it was my answer for the scrap16 challenge we have here in Poland, and I just wanted to add my video, so this is why I recorded it in Polish. However, I've decided, because there's a lot of things going on the video and it's quite interesting, I hope it will be quite interesting for you as well, so I just thought I'll jump in and I'll quickly record it voiceover. So this challenge we have, it's to support our national healthcare system, and initially it was like a music challenge. It was about to create some like a rap 16 verse short, story to rhyme, just to tell about the situation and everything, and that way to collect money, to raise the attention and collect money for our national health system in Poland. And then a few of our amazing and creative souls in Poland, they've decided to change this challenge a little bit into our like scrapping needs. So instead of making the rhymes, we all gonna have to take 16 different products and trying to create something pretty. And then at the end, we're gonna donate money and also share the link to donation for all other people. Even if they don't scrap, they could still support the initiative. So this is why I record the video in Polish at first, and now I'm just doing another voiceover in English. So what I've decided to use some embossing powder, some inks, a little bit of the glimmer glue, and one piece of a paper. It was such a hard choice, and to be honest, at first it seems it's quite a lot of things to use 16 items, but when I start choosing my supplies, I really had a hard choice. And in my case, I actually had to resign from in order to get 16 supplies. I just had to give up something, because I had too many things I wanted to use. So I have this beautiful bow bunny paper, and I've decided my card will be in a green color scheme, because the green is a nice color and it's just the color of a hope, and my card is my hope. It's my way to say I'm hoping that this virus and this pandemic will go over very quickly and we will all together survive through it. Apart from our 16 chosen supplies, we are also allowed to use some basic tools like a paper, glue, scissors. These ones are not counting into the 16 ones, so I'm just showing that I have all the basic tools, plus my cup of coffee, water, and a pencil. And this is what I'm gonna be using for my project today. I created myself a slim card base, and now I'll be just cutting my mats and layer. One of them will be from the bow bunny paper and the other one I'm just gonna color it myself. I'm gonna be using my favorite techniques, which is just smooshing those distress inks, and first I am just spreading them on my glass mat and adding couple drops of the water to just help the ink to spread all over the paper. And once I'm happy with my coverage, I will just leave it and add a couple dabs of the inks just purely and couple drops of my handmade spray, and that way I am having this lovely like a marble effect color paper. In my next step, I am creating 2 additional pieces of green color paper, and I'll be using those one to cut out all my little elements I will use for my card today. To add even more interest to my card, I am using this simple stamps text, and I am just dabbing it randomly here and there on my panel without any overthinking it. It's just something to add additional interest to my card. Now I'm checking this front piece panel. However, I will have to trim it a little bit because it's too wide and it's just not showing this underneath it as much as I would like to. But before I'll do that, I am preparing my little like chipboard piece, this lovely frame and additional like ornament piece, and I'm just using my embossing ink pad, and then I will be covering with this gold embossing powder. I am planning to distress my edges, and because I use the wet technique on my paper, I'll need to make sure it's entirely dry. So I'm helping myself with the heat gun tool because otherwise, if your paper is still a little bit damp and you will try to distress the edges, you will just destroy it. So this is why I've just decided to use my heating tool. Another thing I'll be doing, I'm just smudging the edges with the help of this distress ink, and that way I will make them even more visible on the white background like on my base card, so that way they will show even nicer. I've trimmed my bow bunny paper a little bit just to show a little bit more of the frame. However, I knew I will be using this Sizzix die, so I didn't want to cut it too narrow in order so it still fit the die. And here is my biggest mistake I've made on this card making. Whenever you thinking of cutting out some elements from your front panel and you would like to distress the edges, you'll have to do it distress the edges before you cut the shapes, because as you can see the paper becomes so delicate and I really had to struggle in order to make sure I'm not gonna rip it apart. However, eventually I've managed to do so, but it was much harder, so this is a learning curve for me as well. So I'll know that for the next time whenever I'll be thinking of cutting the front panel and I would like to distress the edges, I will do it in the first place before cutting it all out. I use my pencil to trace the oval, and I will have to hand cut it. Using additional dye is not an option because it's above my 16 product limit. However, because I distressed the edges, it just looks perfectly. Besides, I will use this chipboard piece on top of that, so no one will ever see it's not, it's not even perfect. But this is something to let you know that if you don't have any dies, you just can always trace the shape you'll need, and then once you distress the edges with the scissors, it's really very very hard to see all the imperfections. Now I cut myself the same shape from the die on just a normal, like a white piece of paper, and I will use it as my mask. Initially, when I was choosing the products for my the 16 scrap challenge, I was planning to use a mask as well. However, because I had too many products and I had to give up something, I've decided that once I have the dye, I could also create the one-time mask for myself. So this is what you see, and this is a tip actually for everyone. If you're thinking that you would like to have some stencils but you don't have many of them, you can always search through your dies and have a look for any like intricate dies or something, and you can cut them on a piece of a paper or even acetate. If you will cut on the acetate, that way you will have this reusable mask. So this is something to stretch our supplies. I use it quite often myself, and that way you can have this matching mask stencil to the dies, and they really complement nicely on a card. Now I would like to cut a little heart, which will be my focal point for the card. But before I'll do that, I quickly trace the oval so I'll know exactly what size of the heart I'm needing. I'm also drawing a couple of the leaves, which I will add to my card as well. I've just cut several leaves from the first background paper, and now I will be doing it the same with the second piece. However, before I'm gonna be cutting the leaves, I've decided to embellish the background piece even more, and I am using the same stamp set with this text, and I will do some heat embossing with this golden embossing powder. That way I am getting additional interest to my card, and this is like continuation of the of the style on the leaves and on the card itself. So I think it's just adds something, and it's just definitely makes the card even like more finished look. I am also adding the same gold embossing powder to my focal point as well. That way, as I've mentioned, I have this nice flow of the pattern throughout my card. Now, once all my elements are ready, I can start assembling my cards. Before I will use my hot glue gun, I am doing some dry run just to see whatever I would like to have everything, placed on the card. And when I did that, I actually realized that all the sleeves were quite too pale for my taste and they didn't show up on the card. I just didn't have this like dramatic effect, and I've decided to dark them up a little bit. So I will be using my distress inks just to add some extra color to my leaves as well. You will see it in a minute, and that way I think they will pop from the card even more. And once I finish all the edges from the leaves with the distress inks, they also gain this additional like three-dimensional effect, and they're just like it's just something which adds even more like deepness to your to your die cuts elements. So this is something I really like to do. And part of the leaves which were stamped in a green color, I finished with the green ink, and the other part which were stamped in a gold embossing powder, I've used this olive color ink to go over the edges. Lastly, my favorite thing ever is to add this glitz glue to the front of my leaves. Is just something which add this additional finish touch, and because I chose this glue anyway, so I've decided to use it. Finally, I am trying to place my composition just the way I would like it, and then I will start using my hot glue gun to attach all the elements. And I must to say that I am really happy how the card turned out, because at first I choose all the mixed media projects, and then when I start making the cards I was like a bit worried that because I don't have any like dies or die cut like ephemera elements or something, I thought I won't manage to embellish the card nice way. However, I actually did pretty well, I think. I'm not sure, like let me know in the comment section what do you think about the card. But I'm really happy that I took a part in this challenge, and that way I also I was able to go outside my comfort zone, being aware that I cannot use all the elements and the projects which I'm normally using in my studio when I'm creating a card. I don't have any boundaries that I can use like 16, 20 or how many products. I'll just go with the flow, and whenever I feel like, oh, I could add this or that or a ribbon or something, I'm just using that. And here it was quite something like different for a change, and it also made me actually aware that how many products I am using to finish off my cards. So this was my project. I will finish it a little bit later on as well. You'll see further down in the video, but I just want to take a second to say thank you so much for everyone for being here at my YouTube channel, for watching my videos, for your lovely comments, and just for your advice and the tips, because I always like to read your comments, and whenever you want you have some good ideas for me, I am taking it. And I am really feeling blessed that I could be a part of YouTube family, and just create the videos, because that way. I've said that, I think I've said that on my last video I've just recorded, that making the videos, it's not only about sharing your knowledge, but it also something to give you this learning curve. Because if I do the video and then I can watch it, like when I'm recording a voiceover and I am watching myself how I do the card, I can rethink all my work, and that way I can see all those mistakes and see what things I would do differently, or where's the area to improve. And also, as I can also like ask you to give me advice as well, which I'm always happy to receive it, because this is why we share our videos one to another one, to get the inspiration and to learn, most importantly. At least for me, this is the thing I want to do. I want to grow, and I want to work on my skills. So I hope you enjoyed that video, and let me know what you think and what's your favorite colors, and also let me know if you're taking a part or on any initiatives to support the fight with the coronavirus in your country, or have you ever took part in any like this type of a challenge as well. And let me know if you're also creating and you would like to share any of your artwork. Just leave me a comment below. I'll be very happy to visit you at your YouTube channel or other social media if you have them. So here is my second comment back to the cart. I actually left the cart overnight to get the Nuvo drops time to properly dry so I could make a nice photos. But when I come back on the morning and realized that there is not enough balance on the cart, I mean there's something missing on the right upper corner. So without adding any new elements, I just took additional one more of the same chipboard ornament, and I embellish it the same style with this golden embossing powder like I did on the previous frame. So this is something, it's exactly the same chipboard piece, so I'm not adding any new elements to the card. I just wanted to have something to fill the gap on the right upper corner, because it was really looking like unbalanced, because there was all that chipboard piece was on the left bottom side, but there was nothing on the right side. So I wanted to have a nice flow, and this is the reason why I'm adding this additional piece. I also add 2 little leaves just to finish off the this side of the card, and then I will be adding like 3 or 4 additional drops from the Nuvo crystal drop. And I really like the product. It's dry clears, and it's give the impression that it's like this what is it, like a morning dew left on the grass and on the leaves. So I really like it, and this was my project for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you so much once again. I hope to see you soon. I do have another few bigger projects to come, but I just had to clear off the memory of my phone, so I'll be posting those ones shortly, and I hope you will enjoy them as well. Thank you so much. I wish everyone a wonderful weekend. Stay blessed, Marta.